Hello, Wonderland. It has been a little while, I must say. I've recorded some stuff between my last video and now, but I don't know, nothing I really wanted to edit and upload, so hopefully today will be a little better. I am again on the road today, took the day off, most of it anyway, heading up towards the DC area. Got a concert to go to tonight, Delamitri, one of my favorite 90s bands, so I'm looking forward to that. But to make the trip a little more worthwhile, of course, and because it's turning into a beautiful spring day, although a little cool, it's right around 50 right now, close to noon, well, 11 o'clock. Anyway, stopping at the Neabsco boardwalk. I'm currently walking through the Julie Metz wetlands end of the Neabsco Regional Park. I've been here before. Pretty nice place, I must say, and with springing, I'm hoping to see some stuff in bloom, and this is a good park for birds, especially migrants and wetland birds. So yeah, hopefully I see some good stuff. I brought my big guns, lenses, to get some distant shots, hopefully. And then after this, I'm going to go to the Huntley Meadows Park, which is supposed to be another wildlife hotspot that I have not been to. So looking forward to that. But this is my first real outing with my new camera. I was shooting with Canon R6, which I loved. Great camera. But the one I really wanted was the R5. So recently I decided life's too short to go with my second choice camera. So I upgraded. This is my pretty R5. Sold the R6 on eBay. Sad to see it go, but the R5 I'm liking so far. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to walk, see what we see, head towards the boardwalk. Yeah, stay tuned. It is wet in the wetlands today. Got some rain and actually some snow not too far from here yesterday. Wacky April weather this year. I'm definitely hearing some birds. I'm not at the boardwalk proper yet, but yeah, the boardwalk actually has its own Facebook page, or kind of a fan page. Lots of folks come here regularly, shoot the birds, post photos, so that's a good way to see what's going on in the area, what's moving through. And there's not just birds. I see pictures of muskrats. Would love to see a beaver, something like that. There's a sparrow over there. That's not that exciting. Okay, let's move on. Actually, don't remember exactly when I came here last. It was last year. Fall? Late fall, maybe? It's definitely more green today. I don't know if you can see the boardwalk. We're there in the distance. That's where we're heading. View from the boardwalk. I remembered I was here around Christmas because they had the boardwalk up ahead decorated with Christmas trees. I remember that. So yeah, it's definitely a different scene than when I was here before. Unfortunately, I'm here at the wrong time of day. Midday is when the critters kind of go back into hiding a bit. So I've seen a few birds, turtle, muskrat. That was cool. I'll probably see him again on the way out. But yeah, so far, not too much. Nice day to be out for a walk. So I'm still happy. Yeah. Nice observation deck here. Seen a few birds passing in the distance, like an osprey, maybe a heron. Still not much going on right along the boardwalk, so I don't know. I'll start heading back towards the entrance, but hopefully something more interesting will pop up. But in the meantime, thought I'd give a quick rundown on why I upgraded from the R6 to the R5. Basically the megapixels. That's really the main difference between the two. And when I bought the R6, I really didn't feel like I cared about the megapixels because, you know, my first DSLR was an old Rebel XT 350D, which had, I think, 8 megapixels. Come a long way since then. So my last DSLR was the 7D Mark II, which was 20 megapixels, and that's what the R6 was, so I figured I wasn't losing anything. Seemed an even swap. But then I upgraded to a 4K monitor, and I kind of missed the ability to zoom in further. And I felt like, being used to crop sensor DSLRs, I just felt like with wildlife I wasn't getting in as tight as I would like to, even with long lenses. So yeah, really the 45 megapixels of the R5 is what I wanted, so I could crop in more, shoot in crop mode if I wanted to, and still have 12 megapixels left to work with. So that's basically it. I was afraid that the files might be too big, of course, on the R5. That's kind of what steered me away from it in the first place, that and the price. But really, with the compressed RAW files, it's like 20 megabytes per image on average, maybe, with the R5, which is really not bad. It's probably what a RAW was from the 7D, a full RAW, uncompressed. So yeah, not too big a deal either. Processing so far has been fine. I haven't really noticed any difference with the larger files in Lightroom or when I export to HDR and use Aurora, that kind of thing. So far so good. Ergonomically, it's pretty much the same. It's got the top LCD screen, which is nice. Some of the dials and buttons are a little different, but you can set it up pretty much the same as what I was used to on the R6. And I'll talk about that sometime too. That's a story for another video. But yeah, that's it. So far I love it. I haven't used it a whole lot, so that's kind of one of the reasons I'm out today. But now I gotta find some stuff to shoot with it. Go back to it. I'm making my way through the boardwalk. Saw some flowers in the distance I wanted to picture, and I almost stepped on this little guy. If I can get him on here. Go down. Do you see him in there? Hopefully. Water snake, mud snake. It's a pretty wet area, so I like it. Our next stop is Huntley Meadows Park, Fairfax County. First time here. I've seen a lot of pictures of wildlife from here though, so I know it's kind of a hot spot. But again, it's the middle of the afternoon, so things might not be out too much. But I did just see a male pileated woodpecker, which was cool. I've got my big lens in the backpack, so I didn't want to stop just then and switch. But yeah, I know there's a boardwalk and some wetlands again here too. It's really pretty here in the woods. I like it. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, this place is nice. Kind of a lake in the distance there. Wetlands. Geese. There's lots of birders and photographers here. They were kind of clustering around a little blue heron which is cool. I like those, but they're pretty common in Florida, so I'm wondering if that's a real object of interest here, kind of a rarity, maybe. Your red-winged blackbirds, crows, lots of crows. Heard a hawk. Not seeing a whole lot, but there's more to go, and it's nice. It's still cool out, but I'm enjoying it. Got a few hours to kill. Keep on walking. Let me babble a little more about my R5 versus R6. So, like I said, I came up through various DSLRs, but all of them were APS-C crop sensors. The R6 and now the R5 were my first full-frame cameras, 35mm sensor. So, with the 1.6 times crop factor on all my previous cameras, I was used to, say, a 300mm lens would be the equivalent of a 480, because it's only giving you the middle of the frame, right? And my 100 to 400 on the EF cameras, that was the equivalent of, what, 640? Yeah. Yeah. So then I got the R6, and I got the 100 to 500, which is great. Love that lens. But it's still not 640mm equivalent, because I'm using it on a full frame sensor. So now and then you get a shot of something a little farther away than you would like, and you want to zoom in or crop in post, and you can't really do that too much on the R6 with 20 megapixels. You can, of course, but you end up with, 8 or 10 megapixels left, which is fine for online, but maybe not for a print, or if you really want to blow it up and get that detail. So yeah, that's what kind of pushed me towards the R5, that I can crop in a lot more with 45 megapixels and still have plenty left over. And I could even shoot in crop mode. You can set the camera to kind of mimic an APS-C sensor to get that 1.6x factor as soon as you push the shutter. But I don't know that I'll do that too much, because I'm not a fan of throwing away information, which is why I shoot RAW to begin with. So if you set your camera to monochrome JPEG, you get a black and white image. Maybe it's great, but you threw away all the color data. So I wouldn't do that. I would shoot color and convert it to monochrome in post if I want. And similarly, using the crop mode, that's throwing away information too. So maybe there was something outside of that 1.6x area that's still good, still useful. So I figure I'll just shoot full frame, and then I kind of know I have the ability to crop in post. Yeah. So that's my thought patterns anyway. Liking the camera so far, R5, very nice. Better be for what it costs. Sheesh. Yeah, I think this year Canon will come out with a more budget-friendly mirrorless. They had the R and the RP, which were fairly cheap, relatively speaking, but they don't have the same autofocus system and the bells and whistles, so they need replacements. I think those will be coming in the next year or two, depending on how the supply chain goes. Anyway, enough rambling. Back to walking. There's some birds. Let's see what they are. Found a nice little spot just off the trail by a swampy area in the water over there. Some good birds flying around here. Got some good shots, I think. There was a pileated woodpecker is what drew me over in the first place. And there's a bunch of robins, a wren, red-winged blackbird, red-bellied woodpecker. Pretty good variety. Yeah, I like this park. I could see this being a hot spot, definitely. I'm just here at the wrong time of day for it to be real active, but I'm still happy. I think I'll do another loop around the boardwalk and the real wet area, the water, see if anything new has popped up. So I'm at the venue, the Birchmere, for tonight's show. And there's a park like right over there, but there's no easy way to walk from here to there, so I guess I'm not actually going to do that. I'm just hanging out, waiting for them to open up the main hall so I can take a seat, get some dinner, enjoy the show. So I'll leave it there for this video. Hopefully this has been a good outing. I've enjoyed it. About half a day, but not bad at all. We'll do it again sometime. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other. Get out and wander.